Welcome to the Quick Talk Podcast with Joshua Latimer, where we discuss business, life, family, faith, struggle, fire, pain, and ultimately winning.
It's time to take massive action. Look, I can't work harder on your life or business than you do. It's ultimately all on you.
You know, God created all the food the birds would ever need, but he doesn't put it in their nest. You've got to go get it.
10 out of 10 people die. So how about doing something today that actually matters while you still can? Welcome to the Quick Talk Podcast. How the heck are you? I hope you're having a great week. We are wrapping up the first week of February. Can't believe it. The year's flying by. Do you have the things in order that you're supposed to going into the spring season? I know we have a big, giant variety of listeners, but in general, this is the time to get your systems in order, to get things in place, to get prepared, and to get your planning done so that 2018 does not sneak up on you and tackle you and pummel you. So what I want to talk to you today about is employee stuff. So a lot of you may be getting ready to go into your hiring season. So let's talk about a few things. Number one is, do you know how many people you need to hire this year, when you need to hire them by, when they need to be professionally competent and in the field? If you don't, then that would be your step one. What you want to do is look at your revenue projections for the year. And I'm assuming that you've done that you have a goal for the year. And then after you have the goal for the year, I'm assuming that you have projected a revenue goal for each month of 2018. Right? Most businesses don't have flat revenue. Now, if you have like a lawn care or something and you do level billing, it can be more flat. But in general, you're going to have kind of ups and downs, ebbs and flows. You're going to have natural buying cycles for your market, for the service that you provide. And based on that revenue number is a really easy indicator to tell if you're going to need to hire more people or not. I call this your capacity. So let's say that a two-person crew working for your home service company, for example, can produce $15,000 a month in revenue. And let's say that you have one crew now. And let's say that you have set a large goal this year and you know that in April of 2018, you're going to need to hit, $35,000 in revenue to be on pace to hit your goal. Well, obviously, if you only have one crew now, the capacity is 15,000. Maybe if you just work them to death, maybe they could squeak out 20, right? But that would be working weekends and starting early and working late. And you only want to do that for a short period of time so you don't burn out your team. So you're going to have to prepare in advance to make some hires, which is logical, right? So these things are not like mysteries. I think what happens is we don't plan for it, we don't visualize it, we don't write it down, and then we panic and we make really bad decisions on hiring in the moment because April will get here, you'll be really busy, and then all heck breaks loose and it's a mess, right? So I don't want that to happen for you. So you want to measure your current capacity and then look at your revenue for each month of your goal for this year and see where the gap is. Now, in the fake example I just gave, if you have a $35,000 goal, that would be a gap of $20,000, right? So you're going to need at least one more full-time crew. That might mean that you need to make an equipment purchase, buy another truck, set it up. You're going to have to interview and vet and hire 2 rock star employees and get them trained and professionally competent in time, right? Before that. And even after you do that, you're actually going to be $5,000 short on capacity. Just so you're not getting confused on the numbers. Remember, I said, let's say that your crew can do $15,000 a month. So now you're going to hire and you're going to have 2 crews, which means you can do $30,000 a month, but maybe there's $5,000 short, right? Or maybe your goal is even $40,000, you're $10,000 short. So what do? Well, one cool tip that we did is we would hire job positions that we called floaters. Now, a floater wasn't like a full-time hire. It was pitched and explained as a temporary short-term thing from the beginning. We'd target, high school kids or college kids that wanted to make really good money for a short window of time. And we'd have them come into our organization, we'd train them, and they would help, right? So maybe you only have 2 really big months and then it kind of stabilizes, and you want to keep your full-time crews busy all the time, but you don't want to overhire people and then have to lay them off or let them go because that's super sad and disappointing. So instead you can use this idea of what's called a floater. And as long as you're clearly communicating the whole time, it's awesome. Everybody wins, right? And one of the things that holds people back that I work with is that they get really scared to hire because they're nervous they can't keep keep people busy the whole time? Well, you know what? Number one, it's okay to be honest with people. If you're really small and you're just starting, it's okay to say, look, this is our company story. This is where we are now. This is where we're going to go. It's a little bit messy, but it's exciting, and there's tremendous opportunity here. And all those things are true. But you can also tell people, some of the weird parts about working for a startup or a small family company is, there's less certainty with certain areas. Now, I'm going to work really hard to make sure that you get tons of hours and that you're busy, but there is the chance during these certain months where it could get slow. I just want you to know that going in. And that's acceptable. You should communicate that so people aren't blindsided by it later, right? So, this leads into my main point for today, which is communication. I see a lot of people get frustrated because their employees don't follow through with stuff, or there's some unmet expectation on your part or their part. And the thing that we forget is that sometimes your employees get frustrated with you because of unmet expectations as well. And we kind of we don't take a step back and look at it from that perspective oftentimes, because we're so self-focused. It's like, why didn't they turn in their paperwork? Why is their truck dirty? Why didn't they do this? I told them to go back to Mr. Jones's house and fix a thing, and then they forgot. Or why are they going so slow in this job? And all those are real issues, and they can all be fixed, one thing at a time. But one of the biggest issues and one of the biggest root causes of all those little peripheral problems is that you're not communicating the way that you think you're communicating. Now, I'm not accusing you of not attempting to communicate. I'm not accusing you of not communicating at all. What I'm saying is very few people are actually communicating at the level that they think they're communicating. So one of the big topics in my house is clear communication. Like with me and my wife and our kids, it's like, get to the point, clearly say what you're feeling and thinking. I need to fully understand, and without clear communication, the wheels fall off of everything. So you gotta be really, really intentional about being super, ultra, crystal clear when you're dealing with employees or anything inside your company. And not only do you have to be crystal clear with the way that you communicate with your employees, but you also have to be repetitive. You have to be like this broken record, consistent, nonstop, over and over, forever and ever, no exceptions, no excuses, perpetual conversation. You have to have a perpetual clear communication and ongoing conversation about all the stuff. And what happens over time, if you do this, whether it's having a morning meeting before they leave for the day and reminding them, hey guys, we're gonna have a great day. Tuesday, the weather's looking good. You guys got full day today. Let me know how I can support you if you need anything. I just wanna remind you guys that we're gonna make sure at the end of the day that the trucks are cleaned. If not, then we're gonna have to write you up. Or if you want to do a positive spin, hey, I just want to remind you guys that you need to clean the trucks at the end of every single day. You did a great job yesterday. If you continue to do that, we only have 2 more weeks in the month. You each are going to get your $150 bonus, which is awesome. So make sure you do that. Make sure the paperwork's turned in on time, because you're each going to get a $50 gift card to the steakhouse. If you do that, everybody's been doing good this month. And make sure you blah, 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 whatever, right? Whatever behavior you're trying to modify, whatever culture issue you're trying to change, has to start with you clearly communicating over and over and over and over and over for kind of a long time. And it's not because your employees are dumb. It's not any of that. You need to blame yourself for all these problems, and you can fix them through clear communication. And what will happen after doing this for 60 days is you're going to notice that it becomes a habit with your team. They'll feel weird not turning in their paperwork. They won't be able to not clean out their truck because you're going to have ingratiated them into that habit. But it takes time. And just like the example I always use is, what if I told my wife, if I only told my wife that I loved her on the day that we got married, right? And it's like a funny thing, because obviously I wouldn't be married for 15 and a half years if that was the case. That would be really bad, right? But the argument I could say is, well, why do I got to keep telling her? I already told her. I already told her I loved her. What's the problem? What does this woman want from me? What is her problem, right? That's what we do with our employees. And yes, you may have told them 10 times. Yes, you may have told them 20 times. You need to tell them 276 times. And going forward, you need to understand that any new policy, any new procedure, any new system, any kind of behavioral change that you're trying to drop on your staff, you need to tell them very clearly and in a positive, dynamically leadership-filled way. You need to tell them that 276 times. I think there's just a mismatch of what most business owners' expectations are in regards to how long it will take for someone to get it and for it to become part of the core culture and a habit, right? This goes for like positive words. It has to do with getting cancer and negativity out of your company. Like if you have bad stuff you're trying to fix, you have to be the leader to try to fix it, and you have to be a relentless, stable, not relentless like in a bad, annoying way, but like in a positive, dynamically leadership-filled way. You have to be the tip of the spear with it, and you have to go, you just have to do it for a long time. It takes time, but one day you're going to wake up, and your employees are going to come in, everything's going to work, they're going to have positive attitudes, they're going to call each other out for negative attitudes, you're going to have gamified the things you should gamify, you're going to have attached financial rewards to the behaviors you want to change, and they're just going to do the stuff. And then you're going to remember, man, Josh, it was that podcast where it finally clicked for me. And then you're going to give me a super sick, awesome 5-star iTunes review because you're super nice and you just got massive value out of this. So I hope that helps you. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care. God bless.
Hey, thanks for hanging out, friends. And from all of us here at the Quick Talk Podcast team, we hope you loved today's show. We hope that you were inspired to become a doer and not just a listener. Apply what you've heard today in your own business and watch things change for the better. Lastly, remember that all the money in the world can't save your soul. Seek first the kingdom of God, my friends. We'll see you next time.
For more information about the Quick Talk Podcast or Joshua's other businesses, visit our website, quicktalkpodcast.com. Have a blessed day.